What's going on, everybody? My name is Corey, better known as the Seaman, and I am super excited to bring you my first movie review for the Seaman's Cinema Sitdown. That's right, you don't have to guess, you can read the shirt. You read the title when you clicked on it. So pull up a chair, take a seat. We are talking Star Wars Last Jedi. This is a non-spoiler review. There's a lot to get into in this movie, and I'm going to do my best to cover as much as I can without spoiling. Because we definitely don't want to do that. We want to save the spoils for the spoiler reviews so that people who haven't seen this movie but want to get a taste, man, you can get excited because you should. I got to give it up, standing O, to Rian Johnson in this cast. They deliver, man. This movie is a ton of fun. It sucks you right into the Star Wars world. It feels like a Star Wars movie. And I can't understand how anybody couldn't come out of the theater not happy. I was in a packed house tonight. And it was electric, man. I mean, when you're supposed to cheer, the place went nuts. But at the same time, this is how you know it's good, man. You could hear a pin drop in that theater sometimes tonight because you just get so sucked into what you're watching. It's gripping, and you're right there. And Rian Johnson does such a great job as a director. I really enjoyed when he did Looper, and when he got given this movie, I was psyched because I think Rian Johnson brings a lot to the table, and he elevated his game for this movie. And you know, if for me, J.J. Abrams was the spark that this franchise needed after episodes 1 through 3 to get everybody back on track and that felt like a Star Wars movie. That was the best part about Force Awakens. Even though it was a layup, it felt like a Star Wars movie again, you know? Went back to real sets and costumes and less CGI. Rian Johnson is the Jedi master that the series deserves. It is no surprise that this guy was given a trilogy right away, and it's kind of disappointing that he's not going to get episode 9, but you can totally understand why J.J. Abrams wants to take it back, because you see this film, man, you want to top it, you want to outdo it, and I hope that J.J. can raise his game and deliver us a conclusion that's worthy of what we are getting right now. But that being said, there's definitely some weak spots in the script, and it's the same. So let's start with the negatives, since I want to leave you guys with the good taste in your mouth that I had walking out of the theater. I want you to be excited. I want you to go see this movie because it's good. But there are definitely some script problems, and it's the same kind of problems we get with Marvel. It's what I think is just a general Disney issue right now, and that's sometimes it falls flat. You know, you build up to these moments where you're sitting there and you're like, oh my God, no, you're not. They're not going to do it. No, you can't do that. And then they don't. They do a couple times. There's some moments in this where it's like, oh, wow. And you get that gut punch. But the big moments that, man, if you just take that risk and that swing, and you go for the fences, you're going to elevate this movie into the stratosphere of Empire Strikes Back. The potential was there, but they fall flat in some of the big moments, and that's kind of disappointing. The other thing that also kind of falls flat is the answers or non-answers to some of the mysteries that were posed in Force Awakens. Force Awakens gave us some questions, gave us some, oh man, there's some juicy story that we could get into there. And this movie doesn't quite answer them, I think, the way fans would have liked. And again, if they take those chances and really go for it, I think you elevate this movie into the upper echelon of the Star Wars sagas. It's in the top half. Don't get me wrong. You are not putting this down near any of the bad, the not so great Star Wars films. This is right up there. But man, could it have gone higher? It could have gone to better places. And it's just because they didn't quite take the full swing I think they should have. One of the other issues I had too was the Rebels. The First Order really, really looks a lot smarter and way more crafty than the Rebels do in this movie, which is disappointing. And the Rebels are kind of parked for most of the movie, which is kind of crazy. When you see it, you'll kind of understand, but the Rebels don't quite hit the way I think they should have. And the last negative for me, as great as the action sequences are up in space, and as great as the action and the look of this movie is throughout, the lightsaber battles also come up short. I feel like these were more episodes 4 through 6, where, say what you want about episodes 1 through 3, man. Ewan McGregor, Hayden Christensen, Obi-Wan, and Anakin Skywalker, they blow your mind with their lightsaber work. I mean, those two guys worked their butts off to give these battles in those first three movies that just make you go, wow, and I was hoping that we were going to get that level, if not a higher level there, and we don't. Lightsaber battles are kind of weak, and it's disappointing because, again, like I said, this movie could be way up there, but it comes up a little short. That being said, I did love this movie. I don't understand how people are coming out not happy. I mean, it's a ton of fun, and Rian Johnson, man, is he so good from the directorial standpoint of this movie. I mean, it looks beautiful. He delivers some really awesome new things and some beautiful things in this movie. Like I said, the action sequences are up in space. Whew, man, talk about blowing your mind. I could watch, the space battles all day. And Rian Johnson really, really does a great job. And the biggest plus for me, like I said, the characters and the actors carry this movie. A lot of people I've heard said, Luke Skywalker carries the movie on his back, and that's not true. The entire cast really pushes this thing forward, delivers what I think is a great movie, and it's because of those actors and that directing. Rian Johnson handles these characters so well. He gives everybody their just dues. They all get the screen time they deserve, and you could put him right up there with the Russo brothers and what they did with Winter Soldier and Civil War. I mean, he handles a lot of characters, and he handles them really well, and they all get their screen time, and the reason for that is he does a great job of pairing them off. He pairs off most of the characters throughout the movie, and it works really well. Right from the very beginning, Oscar Isaac, his Poe, gets the screen time he so desperately deserved in Force Awakens. I love Poe. Poe is great, and of course, if you got Poe, you got BB-8, and no offense to R2-D2 and C-3PO, man, is BB-8 so great, man. He gives so many good moments. You really, really enjoy him and Poe and their relationship. And they're best friends the way Luke Skywalker and R2-D2 were. And it's wonderful to watch. Same goes for Finn, who is paired up with newcomer Rose. And when they're on screen, it works so well. They play off each other unbelievably, and you really enjoy when they're on screen. Like I said, these characters, they keep sucking you in. You just want more. And that even goes for Chewie and the Porgs. I'm not gonna lie to you. When I saw the Porgs, I was like, "Ooh, here we go! Marketing, toys, things for kids." Pretty much all of what Phantom Menace was. It was a movie that I felt was like for children. I was nervous that that's what the Porgs were gonna be, and even though they are a good marketing ploy, the toys and the things that they've made don't deliver how great these little guys are. And when they're on screen with Chewbacca, I mean, you're talking about little itty bitty tiny things, and then big Chewbacca. It is hysterical. Every time they're on screen, they hit you with the laughs. The laughs and the jokes, not jokes, but the humor in this movie across the board is great. But you get your best moments in the humor, I think, from Chewie and the Porgs and what they have going on. We'll get into that when we do spoilers, because, man, there are some really good moments for them, and I really enjoyed the Porgs a lot more than I thought I was going to. And then the villains. Obviously, there's Kylo Ren. We're going to get to him. We're going to save him because, man, Adam Driver. But Supreme Leader Snoke and General Hux, home runs. Absolute home runs. If you want to complain that the villains are no good, not great in, Marvel or what we're getting right now from DC, Rian Johnson delivers with these, man. I mean, Snoke is menacing. He has you on the edge of your seat. He has you worried a bunch of times in this movie. And that's awesome to see. And for every bit as menacing as he is, General Hux is every bit as sniveling and conniving. And he's just the kind of guy you want to hate. And they both deliver really, really good moments. I really enjoyed both of them, especially Snoke. And, like I said, Poe before, Leia, Carrie Fisher. I mean, we all know, terrible loss. And she is always fantastic on screen. It's impossible not to love Carrie Fisher. And she gets some really good moments with Poe. They kind of butt heads a lot, but there's this profound respect, I think, between both of them and for what they are. And when they're on screen, same thing, man. You just, man, it's good. And Leia, when she gets her big moment, she shines. And you know, you could have maybe given her some more. She doesn't have a ton in this movie, but man, when you hit that big moment, and when you watch the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's kind of epic, and it was great. And I mean, a wonderful, wonderful thing for Carrie Fisher to have for her last filming, before her tragic passing. And then there's the big three. You got Rey, you got Luke, you got Kylo. Daisy Ridley, again, is just an absolute ray of sunshine, puns totally intended. I love Rey, man. Daisy Ridley just does such a great job. She pulls you right in. She's everything you want from a potential Jedi trainee. And she really leaves you with the questions you don't know. Rian Johnson does a really, really good job of making you wonder which way these characters are going to go. And when she's on screen with Luke, it's that relationship you want from a master and his trainee. It takes a while and some serious fighting and, some gung-ho from Rey, but she gets there, and when they start doing their Jedi stuff, man, I love watching Daisy Ridley. I mean, she's such a great find for the series. Can't say enough good things about her. Obviously, Mark Hamill, I think a lot of that, in their relationship is just the growth we've seen from Mark Hamill as an actor overall. Mark Hamill's always been a good actor, but he's got a lot of years under his belt since the last time we saw him in Star Wars. I'm not talking about Force Awakens because he's there for not even a sip of tea. But his acting is just superb. I know there are some people who didn't like the way they handle Luke and where he goes, but I don't think you can take anything away from Mark Hamill. Mark Hamill acts his butt off in this movie. Really enjoy him, man. Every time he's on screen, you're right there, you're gripped in, you're locked and loaded, ready to go. And the other thing with Luke comes with it, Kylo. I enjoyed getting some of the stuff we get from the two of them. You get some answers that do pay off with Kylo and Luke, I think, and you get both of their perspectives, and you can totally see how things unfolded the way they do. And then, Kylo and Rey, Rian Johnson, man, did he do such a good job with these two characters and their connection. From the very beginning, their early scenes together, such a fascinating way to connect these two characters. Adam Driver, absolutely stupendous. Can't ever say enough good things about Adam Driver. I love him as Kylo Ren, or Ben Solo. And he delivers, man. And when him and Rey are on screen, him and Daisy Ridley, they are so good together. I think they are the best combo in the movie, and that's what it should be. They're the two big hitters, and the balance that you have between these two characters the whole movie is just wonderful. Right down to when, the back half of the movie when they're on screen together. It delivers some awesome moments. And like I said, Rian Johnson is really the one to credit for all of that. As much as the acting is, the directing gets you to where you got to go. And, just overall, like I said, I think Rian Johnson really delivers. I think this cast really delivers. There are some really good twists and curveballs that you're not quite expecting. And when they happen, like I said, man, the crowd went crazy tonight. And anytime you see a movie, that's why I always love going opening night to these big films, because you want to get that crowd experience. It elevates the movie. If you go watch this in an empty theater, you're going to love it. Or you should love it. I would love it. But you love it so much more when you got the packed house and the atmosphere. And that all plays. And, like I said, Rian Johnson he hits it out the park. And one of the other big issues for me with episodes 1 through 3, as I just watched all of the saga movies leading up, is the 2.5 hours hurts those movies. I didn't feel that here. Despite the Rebels kind of being parked and slow, the 2.5 hours, I wanted more. I am so fired up, man. It's 5:50 on the East Coast right now, and I'm not tired. I don't know how I'm going to get to sleep tonight, because I just think that you really got a fantastic movie. So tell me your thoughts. Hit those comments. Tell me I'm a crazy person. Tell me you agree with me. Tell me what you liked and didn't like about the movie. And as always, make sure you check back in because we'll have spoiler reviews coming and some other reviews and trailer things coming up as well. So, for the Seaman, thank you for listening in on my first official movie review for the channel. And I hope you go out and enjoy this movie because home run for me, man. Home run. This is Seaman signing off. Take it easy. And may the Force be with you.